So I thought today we could make some dehydrated apples in the dehydrator, and I just wanted to show you the process. It's actually pretty quick and easy, and like I said before, we kind of use the dehydrator as a snack machine maker. We really love fruits and vegetables around here, and although we don't grow a lot of fruit here, we still sometimes have an overabundance of fruit, and it's a great way when something's getting ready to go bad, or you accidentally get too much, or you purposefully get too much, that you can preserve that for just a little bit longer. So apple chips are very easy to make. You just need whole apples, and then we've cored the apple in slicer, and I'm just slicing them into little bitty apple chips. And the thinner you do them, the easier they're going to be to actually dehydrate, and the faster they'll dehydrate. So that's why I like using the mandolin, and it's very convenient and very fast to do it this way as well. So that's one of the reasons why I like to do it. And then after you get them cut, then you're going to put them on your trays. And for me, my dehydrator came with these wire trays, so I like to cover them up with parchment paper that I just cut to size, and then I put them in the dehydrator for whatever Google suggests for the time and the temperature. The dehydrator on 135 degrees for 12 hours. I will tell you, my dehydrator will not take 12 hours with as thin as I've set these. I don't know if you can see how thin that is, but that's really thin. So I'm going to set it for 135 degrees for 6 hours. And whenever I'm putting them on the trays, I like to put them where they're not overlapping, because they wouldn't dehydrate the same amount of time. And it really depends on how you want them. Sometimes you can dehydrate them so much that they become crispy like a cracker, and other times you can dehydrate them depending on their sugar content or what the temperature and time that you put them on. You can dehydrate them to where they have like a chewy consistency, which is really what I like. You can also flavor these. You could put, I don't know, what do we have in here that we can put on it that we can try? One of my favorites, pumpkin pie spice. Just a really simple pumpkin pie spice on some of them would be pretty yummy. You could also put cinnamon and sugar, although I think that they're pretty sweet without it. Or you could just do them plain. But it's a really wonderful snack, and it's a good way to use up extra apples if you have them. Yeah, that's one way we like to use our dehydrator. Whenever I take everything out of the dehydrator, I put it in a large jar and put a lid on it so that it can preserve it from having any moisture come back into it, especially in a really humid climate like here in Houston. So I found that these will last probably, well, in my house they last like a week, but if somebody wasn't going to eat them all, they would last maybe for a month or so. If you do dehydrate things, you want to get them to a higher level of dehydration than I do these, but I know that they'll be eaten up within a week, so I'm not too worried about it. But if I was trying to store it for like 3 months at a time, I would dehydrate this probably for another 12 hours. And then that would take the appropriate amount of moisture out of it for it to be stored for that long in a sealed container. Otherwise, it might start to grow mold on it. But my family loves these, so they don't last very long, so they'll get eaten within the next week. But that's what they look like. So one of the things when we're talking about seeds and seedlings and starting seeds indoors is when you have soil in pots, it's not getting nutrients from worms pooping in it, nutrients from, organic matter falling on it. So you have to add nutrients back into anything that's potted soil. So one of the things I do with my seedlings is I use this Neptune's Harvest liquid organic fertilizer, and I just pour it in, a couple teaspoons of it in the watering can, and then water with it, maybe once a week or whatever. If you're using really good soil, you probably don't need to do it as much, but also if you're watering a whole lot, then maybe you do. But it's just a good idea. We'll keep them healthy and keep them happy. This is also great for houseplants. I will put a link for this down below in the description so that you can pick it up, but this is one of the ones that I love, and this one has seaweed and fish emulsion in it, and that's why it's so great. And that's what it looks like. But that's a good way to keep your indoor plants and seedlings fertilized. Not 100% necessary, but it never hurts to add something. We can talk about some individual fertilizers as problem solving or balancing soil on a later video. Editing Lindsay here. It was really loud outside, so I'm just going to play this a little fast and tell you some things over the video that you're watching. So onion sets that you can get at, big box stores like Lowe's or Home Depot. You can also get them at small plant stores, like independently owned. We actually got ours from the farm supply store. I put them in some water in a shallow dish for about a week so that they would get super green and healthy. And then all you have to do is just use your finger and put a little hole in the dirt, and then just stick those sets right in there. It's one of the easiest things to grow. If you love onions and garlic as much as we do, it's just something, even if you're not going to grow enough for you to have for a whole year, just for you to have for a season or for a little while. I found that here in Houston that we've been able to plant them year round without any issues. So that way I always kind of am continuously planting them. I have not had as much luck growing them from seeds, but from sets, I usually get a good, anywhere from a half of a fist size to a full fist size onion out of each one of these things that we're planting in. And as you can tell, just in one section of my garden, I'm planting them kind of all around the edge. I usually do this also with things like carrots and with bumper crops like bush beans and those kinds of things too throughout the year. But I just wanted to get these onion sets in and tell you a little bit about it. It's one of the easiest things you can grow, so definitely try it out. Super inexpensive too. And if you don't do a good job, you could just try again the next year. That's what I always say. But hopefully we'll have some really good onions here in a little bit.